Okay, we're working on a Chrysler Town & Country. I believe it's a 2005, but it'll work all the way up to 2007 or down to a 1998. Here I'm just taking off the cowling, showing you how I'm going to get the front tray out after I take this cowling off. I start removing these Torx bits out of here. Most of them are Torx bits. Some of them are Phillips screws, depending on what year you're working on. Either way, you start taking these screws out of here, and there's about, I believe there's 4, 6, 8. There's ones at the ends as well. I just use a ball driver. Now here I'm showing you that you basically mark those windshield wipers out across the bolt head and just a little tick mark on your windshield wiper blade itself. The blade's up there at the top. Once you get these screws out, as you see there's either a line from what I call like a frost line or a dirt line, but you can put a piece of tape there, masking tape or scotch tape or something like that, just to mark where those lay. If you want to, you can lay them on the top side of the windshield wiper. That's so that when you put them back on, they'll basically align real easy for you. Some people forget which side they go on, and I mark them with different colors. So as you're taking them off, you'll see I sprayed it down with a little bit of PB penetrant, and that one just kind of came loose itself. And then this one here, I just take a brass or a aluminum hammer and I tap on the top of the stud. Don't mangle up the threads or anything, just tap on it until it comes loose. The vibration will pop it loose for you. I've used screwdrivers, but you kind of scratch that cowling sometimes, and I wouldn't suggest it, but easiest way is just tap on them. Now there is a screw here. It don't come out. It's got a little tang on it. You basically turn it about 90 degrees, and then those will come out right there. There's one on each side. So just showing you that side there didn't have any kind of it wasn't latched anyway. Somebody must have turned it or something. But I popped the hood, and then we basically I went ahead and took off the windshield wiper solvent there on the left. There's a hose that comes out the front of that tray, and I lift up the one side, and then I'll go to the other side and I'll lift it up. Sometimes you got to kind of arch the middle of it up to help get it out. This one came out okay, but sometimes you got to just kind of flex up the center of it, reach across it and flex it up, and then you can kind of get those out. But I take up the one side, and then as you'll see, I come back across and I'll pop the other side out. You got to get them up a little bit and just work them back and forth. It'll come out. It's not really that bad, but when you go back in, you want to do the same thing. You want to basically get one side up and then go to the other side. Now there's a hose that's underneath, and when I lifted it up, I actually took it apart so that it'll come out. Once you put your cowling on, you got a hose underneath you got to put on, and then there's also the windshield washer hose. You didn't see me put it on together, but as you can see right there, I ran through the firewall and stuck it on. Depends on where you disconnect it. There I'm basically putting those safety clips in that are built into the cowling, and I put them on first, and I put the edge screw in it. I don't tighten them all the way down at first. I get all the screws in, and then I'll go back and I'll basically, give them a good little snug. Don't go too tight, you'll break the plastic. Some plastic that you put on is really brittle, so you want to be careful. Here I'm basically putting those windshield wipers back on. Since I marked them, you can pretty much put them back in the same spot. Like I said, I marked the bolt and the actual windshield wiper piece, so they go on pretty easy. Put them back in spot, and then run your bolt down snug. Now you can line them back up to your marks, or you can torque them down. I think they're 22 foot-pounds. If you mark it back up to your lines, they should be fine. Okay, don't forget to put your center caps on, or your windshield wiper nuts. Check them to make sure they're working. You get back in here, make sure your hose is hooked back up.